So today I wanted to show you a couple of new products. So this is the one size and this is the new face powder from them. This is in the colour Fair 3. We also have the new Lancôme Stick Foundation. Another really good product. Trying it for the first time in this video, so if that sounds interesting to you, stick around and let's get started. I've prepped and primed my skin ready to go. So I have moisturised my skin with some CeraVe. Then I have put on some of the Marc Jacobs cream as a primer. And I have also put on some ultraviolet sunscreen in SPF 50. And now we are ready to begin. Oh, the other thing I've done as well is I have sprayed my sponge with a little bit of Fix Plus, which is almost empty, just to help it keep my makeup on for a little bit longer today. I am going to try out today the new Lancôme. This is a foundation stick and it's got a brush at the back and then obviously the foundation stick is here. I am trying this right now for the first time with you guys. It looks like it's a good colour match. It'll be interesting to see. So let's use the brush at the back to buff it in. So I'm starting in the centre of my face. This brush is pretty tightly compacted. It's going to really buff that in. And then I will go over this with my sponge once I've worked it in with this brush and just make sure that it sets. As you can see, it's blending out very easily. I'm just blending it out a little bit at a time. So this looks like it would be a light to medium coverage. At the moment, the amount I have on sort of just looks like it's a tint. I'm going to put some more on for the second coat of this. I'm going to use my sponge. I was only doing one coat, wouldn't matter. Now I'm doing two coats. This brush at the end here, as I said, it's quite tightly packed. So what could happen is it could start to lift my skincare underneath if I keep buffing and buffing away. So I want to avoid that. So I'm going to use a sponge, but I'm also curious to see how well it works with a sponge. When products come with certain brushes and sponges, usually that's a hint. That's a big hint of how the manufacturer has designed the product to work. So especially like this one here, if there's a brush on the end of that stick, obviously the manufacturer feels the best way to apply it is with a brush. However, we need to know how it applies well with everything. Okay, so far so good. I'm pretty impressed. Blended in very easily with the sponge. One coat I think would be fine using the brush it comes with. If you're going to put more than one coat on, you probably need to be mindful of what you've got on underneath, just in case. This is the Patrick Tar. She's Sculpted. Got a cream and a powder. I'm just going to go in and build this up little by little and work this in. I just want a nice healthy look to my skin. It doesn't appear that this foundation has oxidized at all, so that's a good thing to know. It would be a great foundation to take with you if you've got to go out because you can just top up where you need to really quickly. And it's got the brush at the back, so that makes one less step you have to worry about. Next up, I'm going to use the Patrick Tar. She's That Girl. Again, you've got a cream with a lid on it, and then you've got a powder. I love the fact that the cream has a lid on it. So I'm going to use my Peaches PC19 brush. I'm going to place that gently just above where I put the bronzer. I'm going to put some concealer on now. Sometimes I do my concealer before contouring on my blush, but usually I do it after. For me, I think if you do it after, you get more of an idea of exactly how much you're going to need. So if you do it before, then you contour and blush, you might be putting product on that you actually don't really need. Put on your contour and blush, let that hide whatever it needs to hide and build up whatever it needs to build up. And then you can really assess where you really need your concealer and your colour corrector. Not doing any colour correcting today because this is the Fenty Concealer and I don't think I need it. This concealer is quite heavy. It's very pigmented, very creamy, but I just don't think I really need it. I'm going to use the concealer to brighten my under eyes, but it will act as a sort of a little bit of a corrector. Just going to quickly do my eyebrows and then I'll come straight back and we'll continue with some more products. This is the one size, turn up the base. This is just a foundation powder. This is in the shade Fair 3. I hope it'll be okay, but let's give that a go. Just quickly go back in. Make sure nothing has started to pull. Those fine lines, they come up really fast if you don't keep on top of them. Before you do your powder, just go over any areas that you feel could have started to crease so that you can get on top of it. You don't want to set creases into your makeup. This feels very nice so far. Just trying to get right up under my eyes there. The foundation's sort of like, I guess, a velvety foundation. Once you blend it out and it's had a couple of minutes to sit, it does leave a, I wouldn't say glowy, but it's not completely matte either. So this powder, this is really good powder, guys. I didn't mind getting one that was a little bit lighter because it's a bit like a translucent powder. You're stuffed if it's too dark, you can't really use it. I'm going to use a smaller brush just to go under the eyes there. I'm really working that powder in under my eye, but also into my eye socket, sort of buffing that powder in so that it gets into all those fine lines. So when it comes time to do eyeshadow, hopefully I won't need to set it again, but I might. I'm going to continue with our Patrick Tar. I'm going to go in with the bronzer, and I'm going over where I put down the cream just to intensify that and get it all to stay in place. It's just such a good colour. Even the fair one, which I have as well, that's really good for days when you want a hint of sort of bronzing. You can build that up. This is just the one I picked for today, but I mean either or, and they're both good colours. Back into some blush. I'm going to go into the powder. And I'm tapping, I'm not rubbing up and down. Building that up gently. I don't want to come too close into my nose. I want to keep that blush as high as possible. If you want a really clean looking makeup, what you can do is once you've done your bronzer and your blush, the center of your face is really what people look at first. So what you can do is you can get some more translucent powder or whatever powder you use. You just run that down the very base of your nose, just a tiny bit. Again over your top lip and a tiny bit in the middle of your chin, and then go back under your eyes, just a tiny bit. You don't want a lot. It'll just give you a little bit more of a fresher look. You see how the inside now is all neat looking? I'm not going over any of the contouring that I've done or the bronzing or the blush. I'm tidying up around it basically. So before I put anything on my eyes, I'm just going to check that there's no settling. There's not really any settling there. I'm just going to go straight in with my MAC Brule. This is just a very natural colour. And I do this most times when I do my eyes, no matter what I'm going to do. And I just blend that through the entire area because it's a very similar colour to my skin tone. So it's going to be not very noticeable, if at all. Not only that, if there are any tiny little lines starting to form that I can't see, this will get rid of them because an eyeshadow is a different formula to the actual powder. If you find that you have trouble with your eyeshadows moving around or transferring, coming off, not going on well, I totally suggest you try putting down a shadow close to your skin tone colour first before you do anything else, then do whatever you want. I want to just go back into my Patrick Tar and I'm going to use the same brush and I'm just going to run that through the crease of my eyes, starting on the outside. I'm going to take a Peaches 38 brush and that's a tiny like this one. This is just the Nude stick in colour Nudity. All I'm going to do is take that along my mobile lid, then blend that out. You want to keep it on the lid of your eyes. If you do have hooded eyes though, again take it up higher. I'm just going to blend it just past the crease into that bronzer. And that is all I'm doing. So just something very natural looking, doing one eye at a time because these eyeshadow creams, they will dry down. So if you don't work quickly, they'll be too hard to blend. If you have trouble blending, try doing one eye at a time and see if that makes a difference. I'm really impressed with that foundation actually. I'm going to get my eyeshadow stick and I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to run that along the bottom lash line. This is the Peaches and Cream Brown Pencil, and I'm actually going to put it under my waterline. So I'm going under. And these pencils are so creamy. They're so quick and easy to use. You don't have to go back over and over. Some pencils you got to keep rubbing on and on and on until the colour comes through. These are so pigmented, it's insane. Taking that right down to the corner. What I am going to do is run it along the bottom lash line into those lashes, just to give it a bit more of a something, I don't know. And then I'm just going to buff that out into the shadow we have under our eyes already. So when you're buffing your shadow under your eyes, what you want to do is carry it upwards so that it meets the shadow that you have on your brow bone. And that way it'll just look all uniform and blend in that corner if you feel that you need to. So just allow your brush to follow under your eye and up, and just flick up pretty much. Just let the brush flick upwards and then blend in. That's all you have to do. I'm just going to get some of the Becca Highlighter. I'm going to put this champagne pop. I put some of that in the inner corners of my eyes just to just wakes your eyes up a bit. I'll put a tiny bit, I'm just tapping a tiny bit under the last third of my eyebrows. Then I'm going to go in with my finger and tap that into my eyebrows properly. Then I'm going to put some on my cupid's bow. Then I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I did a post about this on Instagram. If you want your eyelashes to look really, really nice and easy to do with your mascara, what you can do is you can get your spoolie after you've curled them. If you're not going to curl them just before you put your mascara on, you go through and brush them out just like you'd brush your brows out before you put anything in them, usually. The same sort of thing. Just because when we put our makeup on, our lashes get stuck sometimes together with foundation, or you've put some cream on and it's dulled them down a bit, pushed them into the wrong spot, all those things. So it just helps, especially those corner lashes, give them a bit of a brush. You'll find getting your mascara into those corners a lot easier. I'm going to use the Lancôme. This is a really nice mascara, by the way. Great wand, so you can see how it's curly. And I am just going to go in and one thin coat to start with, like I always do, to set the lashes into place. Outer lashes going that way, inner lashes going that way, and middle lashes going upwards. So first, I like to set them in place just with a very light coat. Although this is such a good mascara, you probably don't even need to do it. It's just, and I just got it on my eye. Okay, now go back in again, and I'm going to just do a bit of a normal coat now that they're all locked into place. So this is KVD Bow and Arrow. This is just a little one. It's a bit of a browny colour. You're just going to go back into where that mascara is and just flick it away gently with your brush. This is just some of the CoverFX setting spray. Trying to use this one up. If you're looking for a good setting spray, this really, as long as you don't eat it, it's a really, really nice setting spray. Really, really recommend it. Super impressed with that powder and that foundation. And when I post this, I'll actually let you know how it wore. We'll put everything in the description. Check it out if you want to know what any of the products are. Please don't forget to like or follow. You can also check out these videos over on YouTube. So go over there if you want to have a look at some more stuff. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.